YouTube? Greg here. We are back with another video. I've been on a roll with these videos this past week. This is like the 4th time I've had my camera out. So we're in the 911. We just picked it up a couple days ago, and we're bringing it over to my buddy's shop. His name is Randy. He owns Ludensol Detailing. They're based out of Yorktown, New York, so it's about 30 minutes from here. But Randy is an awesome detailer. He's been doing all of my cars for the past several years now, since I met him. And just in the past year or two alone, he's probably done close to a dozen of my cars. And when I say he's done my cars, I'm not talking about just car washes, but we do everything from paintless dent removal to paint correction, touch-up paint, and then we finish that with ceramic coating. And we'll do that on all the surfaces, the glass, the wheels, and even the plastic trim all along the car. And he does a great job with it. We're going to his shop and we're going to give you a full overview of everything that he does there. And he also has his own product line, so we'll be able to see all the products that he uses at each step of the process when he does these cars. And he'll go over the benefits of his products, how they're used, and I'll post the description in the description all the links to his products to where you can purchase it. All right, we just pulled up to Randy's shop. We're here in Yorktown. Got my buddy Zach with me.
Yep.
There's the man Randy.
What's up, bro?
It's nice out.
I thought you were gonna trailer it in.
Nah, I don't have time for that. I didn't have time. All right, so we just pulled the 911 into the shop. We're letting the paint cool down just so it's easier to wash. We don't want the water drying on it. It's been sitting in the sun all day today and it's pretty sunny out. So we're gonna let the paint dry, and Randy's setting up right now. The car is filthy right now, so when we do this process, we're going to show you everything end to end from the start all the way to the finish. But right now he's just doing a basic look over of the car, seeing the current condition of the paint. And it might look great on camera, but if you look up close, you can definitely tell that this car has swirls pretty much all over on the car. What I said before, that the front end, the fenders, the hood, the bumper, the mirrors, these are all XPEL PPF, but that was done like almost 8 years ago. So it's had time to really build up scratches here and there. But overall, the car's in good condition. But we're gonna go ahead and start on the wash. So as you can see here, Randy is actually just starting the process off with a basic rinse of the whole car. So after we rinse the car, we're going to start spraying down the wheels with wheel cleaner and let that soak. Now we have a special wheel brush. We're going to clean the face and the barrels of the wheel, and we'll also clean the calipers as well. Very important to clean the sidewalls of the tires as well, especially if you use a lot of tire shine and the sidewalls have turned brown. Now we're doing iron remover all over the paint. So Randy, what does the iron remover do?
So the iron remover is going to remove any embedded contaminants, usually like brake dust, oil that you run over when you're on the highway. You can see it start turning purple. So that's basically reacting with the iron, and then when we rinse it off, it's all going to kind of come down. So this is considered chemical decontamination. Sort of like a clay bar. I usually do this before claying because this is going to remove a lot of it. And then we go through with the clay bar, and that's going to be the hand contamination where we actually rub the paint and get everything off.
Got it. Yeah, so whenever you guys get like wheel cleaners that have iron remover built into it, you'll notice that the wheel will turn a very dark red or purple.
So this right here is actually my wheel cleaner. I put it into this because we use a lot of it. So I just put it into a bigger case. But this right here, the same thing, you use it on the wheels, and then this will turn purple as it reacts with the brake dust and iron.
Yeah, you guys can start seeing the rotors are already turning a deep purple. You can see towards the rear that there is a lot of purple going on here. So basically, the more contamination you have, like especially the rear bumper, the more purple you're gonna see. So you know it's really working. But what we learned from Randy is that you don't want to use iron remover every single time you wash the car. It's really on a need basis. So right now we're doing paint correction and ceramic coating after, so we want to clean the surface as best as we can and to ensure a good final product. So if you had just waxed your car, you don't want to use iron remover again over the wax because it will strip the wax. So good tip to know. But yeah, you can see the wheels that they're turning purple. The back bumper is all purple. So after this, we're gonna rinse it, right?
Yes, we're gonna rinse it and then we're gonna wash it. And after washing, we're gonna clay it.
All right, so iron remover is done. Now we're gonna rinse off the whole entire car again. And then from there, we're going to wash it and then clay bar. So the car is fully rinsed, and now we're gonna go ahead and do the foam cannon. Here's the soap that we're using. Goes on really thick. Boost and suds. So if you guys don't have a power washer, you just want to use this as a regular bucket wash, perfectly fine. If you have a foam cannon and a power washer, even better. And here are some of the other products. We got wheel cleaner with the iron remover built into it, tire and trim. This also works on rubber, plastic, vinyl, and leather. And then also to maintain the ceramic, or if you don't have ceramic at all, we have a spray ceramic that also helps enhance the gloss in the paint. So Randy is also SLPLSS certified. He took the classes and now he's able to apply all their products, including the paint protection film. So they create a plastic and trim, ceramic coating, one for glass, wheel and caliper. So this stuff is extra thick so it can handle the high temperatures. And then of course we have the paint and for the PPF. So all their different products, he can be applied here. And they have some spray products as well. Again, like Randy has his own ceramic boost spray, SLPL has their version as well. The other line of products by IGL Coatings, this is Kenzo. This is a 5-year ceramic coating. It has a 10 on the hardness scale. So So he's been certified by IGL for several years now. He recently picked up XPEL, but like XPEL, IGL also has different grades of ceramic coating. So if you want to do a 9 hardness, it's a little bit cheaper, and I think that one's only 3 or 4 years versus 5 years. And then they have some other products too for all different parts of the car. Interior, exterior, wheels, ceramic boost. Sound though. It's all in the details. If your detailer doesn't clean the gas cap, you should find a new one.
Exactly.
You ain't shit. Alright, so the whole car is cleaned. We're rinsing it off again. And then the next step, we're going to do the clay bar. And that's going to remove any embedded dirt and contamination that's in the paint, so that we can ensure that there is a really nice, smooth surface before we start paint correction. Alright, so we started onto the clay bar. So when you're doing the clay bar, you want to have a lubricated surface. So what Randy did here is we took the foam cannon again and redid the whole entire car. You want to make sure it's lubricated, because then if you're not, then you're damaging and marring the paint and thus creating even more swirls and scratches. So we're going to do the clay bar on all the paint surfaces, including the glass too. And then once we do that, we're going to rinse and wash the car again, and then we can go on to paint correction. All right, so we just got done clay barring the car, and now we're going to go ahead and rinse it off one more time. But you can already tell just from the iron remover and the soap and the clay bar that the clarity of the paint has just gotten so much better. Like, it's way shinier now. It's got more of a deep white to it. Before, it was kind of like yellowed out because of all the dirt that was still stuck to it. But it's starting to look really good, and we haven't even gotten to the actual correction, which is really going to bring out the gloss in the paint.
Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to measure the paint. We're going to see if anything was repainted, if anything is low. This is very good for when you're removing a lot of paint like this. You want to make sure there's enough clear coat to go through, or else you're going to end up burning right through. Okay, so we'll start off with the film. Let's see how thick this is. So we have a rating of 9.9. So it's showing the PPF is at least 7 mils thick. It goes to original paint. 5.4, which is really good. This is high. 4.6. 4. So usually when they paint cars, there's going to be always more paint at the top versus the bottom. So that's why you always see a little bit of that, which is good because it shows this has never really been polished or detailed before. So this right here is pretty low, 2.9. Okay, so this is an area we have to kind of be careful on. This is all pretty low over here.
So what might cause it to be low? Just like improper washing or previous paint correction?
So it looks like something must have happened here before in the past, and maybe they polished it, because 2.83 is really at the very bottom of the scale of where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Up here too is pretty low.
Yeah, so as Randy was saying, the paint gauge meter is a really handy tool to have when you're a detailer, because before you do any type of correction, you want to make sure the condition of the paint that you're currently dealing with. So what that does, it measures how much paint is currently on that panel. So if the clear coat is running super thin, you will have to make sure that you're not going to be polishing too hard to the point where you're ripping off all of the clear coat that exists there. And the other handy thing about this tool is it can tell you if there's been any like Bondo work in the past or if it's been repainted, because if it has been repainted, it's very likely that the number is going to read very high. Like average number I think for paint is usually in like the 4 to 5 mil range from factory. And when the number is really low, that's telling you that it's probably been previously paint corrected, or it's been, you know, washed to the point where you ripped off a lot of the clear coat. If the number reads high, like 8, 9, 10, then it's very likely that it has been previously repainted.
What we're doing here is we turned off all the lights. We're going to put these lights directly onto the panel. With a white or light colored car, it's sometimes hard to capture the swirls. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we see everything so we can remove everything. So right now we're just getting set up and we'll do a nice 50-50.
All right. Yeah, so already on the camera I can see there's a lot of swirls going on right here on the door. And it's all along. So we're going to do the 50-50 and we'll get to show you a nice before and after of what paint correction does to the clarity of the paint.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do a cutting stage. We're going to try to remove as much swirls as possible in this area. When we went over it with the meter, you see it's pretty good on this door. We might have to watch a little at the top of the corners a little lower. But right here we can kind of go pretty good and remove most of that. So we'll start off with an aggressive cut pad with some correcting cream, some Real's Garage. This works really good to cut paint, especially Porsche paint. It's really on the harder side compared to like Hondas and Toyotas, a little softer paint. So we're going to get the light right so we can see what we're doing.
So when you're doing paint correction, you always want to start at a very low speed, especially when you're just starting out, because that way you spread the polish all along the paint and in the pad, and that way you don't have, you know, more polish in one area versus another, and then you end up eating away at the paint too quickly. So we're always going to start at a lower speed, and then once we spread the polish, we can go at a faster rate to then start actually cutting.
Alright, so that's cutting stage. As you can see, we got about 98% of everything off. A couple little, if you really look a little deep, there's a little deep something right there. That might come off with the polish and make it look a little bit nicer. But I think there is where we want to be. We don't want to remove too much neither. For later on down the road, if something were to happen, let's say you have to wet sand this panel, we still have enough paint on there to fix it. So ideally, this is what I like to shoot for. About 98% is perfect because the human eye, you're not going to catch the little stuff. And let's go do it. This is going to prep the surface for the coating.
So we do this on all surfaces
Yep.
where we're gonna do the coating.
I like to use IGL Pre-Coat. This one is actually made with orange, so it has a nice citrus scent to it.
It smells like vodka.
Yeah. So what we're doing here is we're going to use Expel Fusion. This is for paint and PPF, which is perfect. We have PPF on the front end. So usually what happens with the paint protection film, it kind of grabs the coating a lot faster and a lot harder than the paint because of the pores. So we're going to do smaller sections on the front end, and then when we get to the paint, we can do a little bit bigger. What we'll do is we'll start here. We're going to do a little quarter. Now this fusion coating actually flashes pretty quick. Depending on the humidity. Give it a second, you can kind of see when it starts to beat up on itself. You see right there, it's starting to kind of beat up on itself right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right about there is kind of when it tells you it's time to remove it. So you always want to have at least 2 clean rags. You want to keep switching them over. Yeah, so right about now you can see it starting to kind of flash away. And now is when we're going to go lightly kind of massage it in with one. Then we're going to flip it and wipe it off. It instantly made it slick. You can actually see where you left off right there too. Just found a mistake.
Very important. We are doing all the plastic and rubber trim on this too, because over time, especially on a 12-year-old car like this, that the black plastic will fade out and it eventually turns like a light gray. So when we ceramic coat it, it'll restore that black finish to it, and it's gonna look really nice all said and done to complement the rest of the car. Alright guys, we are all done here. Randy just finished up on the ceramic coating. Normally you're supposed to let the car sit indoors for about 24 to 48 hours, but I need to bring the car back today, so I'm gonna bring it home. It's super dry out, no rain or anything, so it's okay to drive it a short distance, but this thing looks so good. It came out amazing. It literally looks like a brand new car again. So for the ceramic coating, we're gonna let it sit. Not supposed to get any water. Don't drive through any puddles or anything like that, because it won't allow the ceramic coating to cure properly. But wow, this is amazing. The clarity of the paint. Being a white car, you know, it's not gonna look as dirty as other colored cars, but being that I love cars and I know what bad and good paint looks like it's so easy for me to tell the difference between what it looked like before and now. I'm absolutely amazed. Every angle looks so good, not a single scratch in sight. So I'm gonna close out the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and maybe you guys will give some business to Randy if you guys are local here in New York. If not, make sure you check out his products because they are really top-notch products, and we do ship it worldwide, preferably in the United States. So, oh my God, I'm so in love. The car looks amazing. The paint, the interior, so good. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Please smash that like button and subscribe.